What's up, everyone? Welcome back to WrestleScope, the channel that doesn't sugarcoat, doesn't take the WWE's word for it, and absolutely does not stay quiet when something is going wrong right in front of our eyes. Hit that subscribe button right now if you're new here, because today we are going deep. We are pulling back the curtain on something that has been simmering in WWE for months, and I am genuinely shocked that more people aren't furious about this. Because what WWE is doing to AJ Styles right now, it is either pure genius or it is the single biggest waste of a living legend that this company has seen in the last decade. Let's get into it. I need you to stop whatever you're doing right now and really think about this for a second. AJ Styles, the phenomenal one, a man who came into WWE in 2016 already a veteran, already a legend in every other promotion on the planet, and somehow managed to reinvent himself inside a WWE ring. He became WWE champion. He headlined pay-per-views. He had matches against John Cena, Roman Reigns, Shinsuke Nakamura, Samoa Joe, and Daniel Bryan that people will be talking about for the rest of their lives. This man carried SmackDown on his back for years. And now WWE has quietly, almost sneakily, shifted AJ Styles into a role that the internet is barely discussing. And depending on how you look at it, this either signals the most exciting final chapter of a legendary career, or it is a slow, painful, disrespectful burial of a man who deserved so much better. I want every single one of you watching right now to drop a comment below and tell me, do you think WWE respects AJ Styles? Because after what I'm about to break down, you might change your answer, and I want to see the debate in those comments. Go ahead, I'll wait. Let's go back and trace exactly how we got here, because the timeline is important. For years, AJ Styles was positioned as one of WWE's most reliable main eventers. Whether he was playing the cocky heel with the club, the veteran babyface chasing justice, or the seasoned warrior standing across the ring from the biggest names in the game, AJ always delivered. Never a bad match, rarely a bad promo. The man was a machine. But then, and this is where it gets interesting, WWE quietly started pulling AJ away from the top of the card. The championship opportunity slowed down. The marquee main event slot started going to others. And while AJ was still appearing on television, something felt different. Something felt like WWE was repositioning the pieces on the board without telling anyone why. Now, there's a version of this story where that's a massive insult, where a company looks at one of the greatest in-ring performers of the last 30 years and decides, all right, we've gotten what we need from him, step aside. That version of the story is enraging, and honestly, parts of it are hard to argue against. But here's the twist, and this is what nobody on YouTube is really digging into. What if WWE is setting AJ Styles up for the most important role of his entire career? Not as a wrestler, but as a kingmaker. Stay with me, because this is where it gets really good. Here's the cold, hard reality of professional wrestling that fans don't always want to accept. Legends eventually transition. It's the natural life cycle of the business. Steve Austin did it. Shawn Michaels did it. Triple H didn't just do it, he turned it into an entirely new career as the head of creative. The greats don't disappear, they evolve. And all the signs are pointing to AJ Styles evolving into something WWE desperately needs right now, a credibility bridge between the established stars and the next generation. Think about what AJ brings to the table that very few people in that locker room can match. He has the respect of every single wrestler alive. Veterans bow to him. Young guys study his tape. He has worked in New Japan and TNA and Ring of Honor. He has a global credibility that most WWE-grown talents simply cannot replicate. When AJ Styles stands next to someone in a WWE ring and puts his stamp of approval on them, that means something. That carries weight. And here's where the new role narrative really crystallizes. AJ Styles has increasingly been placed in storylines and segments that serve to elevate others. Whether it's putting over the next wave of serious mid-card talent on SmackDown, being the veteran foil to a rising heel who needs a credible victim to legitimize their run, or acting as the moral compass of a locker room segment, AJ is being used as living, breathing validation currency. Now, I know some of you are already typing angry comments, and good, type them, because the debate has two valid sides. Side 1. This is exploitation. AJ Styles is not a prop. He is not a launching pad. He earned the right to stay at the top, and using him to simply boost others without giving him his own story is disrespectful. Side 2. This is legacy work. This is how true legends cement their place in the culture of a company, not just by winning titles, but by making others better. And in WWE's current creative landscape, having a figure like AJ playing that anchor role might be more valuable than another championship reign. Which side are you on? Drop it in the comments. Let's get 500 responses on this one. But here's where I have to be honest with you, because this channel is never going to be a PR machine for WWE. There is a genuinely dangerous game being played here, and if WWE gets it wrong, they won't just waste AJ Styles' final chapter, they will damage it permanently. The risk is this: if AJ Styles is positioned as a supporting character without a clear, compelling narrative of his own, fans will start to emotionally check out of his appearances. It's happened before. We've watched it happen to guys who deserved better, legends who got caught in the limbo between main eventer and full-time mentor and never found solid ground in either place. The crowd starts to feel it, the energy shifts, and before long, a guy who used to get the building on its feet is getting polite appreciation instead of electric reactions. That cannot happen to AJ Styles. It would be genuinely tragic. And the frustrating part, WWE has all the tools to avoid this completely. You want AJ in a mentorship role? Great. Give him a mentee. Give him a specific young talent to invest in on screen. Build a real story around that relationship. Tension, trust, betrayal, redemption. Let AJ carry a full narrative arc one more time. Let him be the veteran who either molds the next champion or gets betrayed by the student who surpasses him. Both of those stories write themselves, and both of them would have the entire wrestling world glued to their screens. The fact that WWE hasn't fully committed to a defined AJ Styles narrative right now is the thing that should make every single one of you watching this video genuinely angry, because the window is not infinite. AJ Styles is phenomenal, yes, but he's also human. The clock is ticking, and every week that passes without a clear direction for one of the greatest to ever lace up a pair of boots is a week that cannot be recovered. Okay, here's where WrestleScope goes a different direction than every other wrestling channel, because I've been thinking about this, really thinking about it, and I want to offer you a perspective that might be uncomfortable. What if AJ Styles himself requested this? Now hear me out before you close the top. AJ Styles is not a passive figure in his own career. This is a man who negotiated his WWE deal carefully, who has been vocal in interviews and podcasts in his own quiet way about wanting to be thoughtful about how his career ends. He has talked about wanting to be physically healthy for his family. He has discussed the balance between loving the business and not letting the business destroy him. What if the new role isn't WWE reducing AJ Styles, but WWE choosing a more sustainable position on the card while still contributing to the product he loves? What if this is a man being incredibly smart about protecting his body, his legacy, and his future, while still showing up every week and doing it better than people half their age? Because if that's the reality, then we need to completely reframe the conversation. We shouldn't be angry at WWE. We should be in awe of AJ Styles. We should be watching every single one of his appearances with a different set of eyes, recognizing that we are watching a master craftsman decide, entirely on his own terms, how he wants to close the final pages of an extraordinary book. And that version of the story is one of the most compelling human narratives in all of professional wrestling right now. A man who conquered every mountain there was to climb, and now choosing to spend his remaining time in the ring, giving back to the business that gave him everything. That's not a burial. That's a coronation of character. So where does this go from here? What do we actually need to see from WWE to make AJ Styles' current chapter work the way it deserves to? 3 things, just 3. First, give AJ one more defining feud, not a throwaway program, a real emotionally resonant rivalry with stakes that feel personal, whether it's against a new heel who disrespects veterans or a complex story with a young star he helped build. AJ deserves one more feud that will live in highlight reels. Second, let AJ cut loose on the microphone. One of the most underrated things about AJ Styles is how good his promos have become over the years. He has found his voice. Use it. Give him the mic, give him real material, and watch him remind the entire world why he belongs at the top of the conversation. Third, protect the in-ring moments he does have. Every AJ Styles match from this point forward should feel like an event, like a gift. Stop putting him in throwaway television matches. When AJ Styles wrestles, it should mean something. Treat it like the limited, precious resource it is. If WWE does those 3 things, the Phenomenal One's final chapter could be the most talked about story in the company for the next 2 years. AJ Styles is not done. He is not fading. He is standing at a crossroads that every legend eventually reaches, and the direction he goes from here and the direction WWE points him will define how the world remembers one of the absolute greatest professional wrestlers to ever live. This story is still being written, and we, the fans, have a role to play in it too. Because when WWE sees the demand, when they hear the crowd, when they feel the love for a guy like AJ Styles, it matters. It moves the needle. It changes decisions. So here's what I need from every single one of you right now. Smash that like button. Let's blow this video up and make sure the wrestling world is talking about this. Drop a comment below. I want to know, do you think WWE respects AJ Styles? Is this a genius final chapter or a slow disrespect? Tell me. Fight with each other in the comments. I read every single one. Share this video. Text it to your wrestling friends, post it in your wrestling groups, put it on Twitter, put it on Reddit. Let's start the conversation that WWE apparently doesn't want us having. And if you are not yet subscribed to WrestleScope, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because we cover the stories, the angles, and the wrestling truths that nobody else has the guts to touch. The phenomenal one deserves better, and so do you. We'll see you in the next one.